Assalamu alaikum, grade 5. How are you? Today is Tuesday. It's October the 27th. This is chapter 2, lesson 8, multiply 3 digits. Okay? This lesson you can find it at page 80 from your textbook, and after this lesson, Habibi, you will be able to multiply a whole number by a 3-digit multiplier. Okay? So let's read this. Here we have a problem. Let's read it and try to find a solution for it. Norma's father has a vegetable farm of 126 rows of tomato plants. Each row has 178 plants. I told you, each time we say this sentence, each blah has, each box has, each row has, each package has, each shelf has, we have to do a multiplication process. Okay? The question is, how many tomato plants are on the farm? So we have to know how many tomato plants are in the farm. As I told you, we have to do a multiplication process. We have these two numbers, 126 with 178. Now, let's learn how to do the multiplication process. As you can see here that the multiplier and the multiplicand are 3-digit numbers. So we have our main steps to do this. Step number 1 is to multiply by the ones, then multiply by the tens, and number 3, multiply by the hundreds, add the partial product. So we have to do it step by step. Step number 1, multiply by ones. Step number 2, multiply by tens, and step number 3 is to multiply by 100, then make the addition process. And as I told you, Habibi, don't forget to add a 0 here and 2 zeros here. Don't forget to align the digits and add the zeros. Now let's do this one here. We have 178, and ignore these 2 digits like they're not there. Just multiply the ones with the ones and tens and hundreds. So we have to write 6 times 8. The answer is, what is 6 times 8? Is 6 times 8, that's 84. And now that we have 6 times 7, the answer is 42, and plus 4, that's 46. So we write here 6, and we write here up there 4. Then we have 6 times 1, the answer is 6, plus 4, the answer is 10. So this is the answer of multiplying the whole number with the ones. Let's move to the second step. We have to forget the ones, forget the hundreds, and multiply the tens. Yalla, we have to add a 0. One more time. Write a 0 in the ones place. 2 times 8, the answer is 16. Now 2 times 7, the answer is 14. Plus 1, the answer is 15. So we write 5 and we write 1. Now 2 times 1, the answer is 1. Plus 1, the answer is 3. So the final answer, like we are multiplying the whole number with 20. Why we are multiplying the whole number with 20? Because the 2 here is located in the tens place. So we do multiply the whole number by 20. So this is the final answer, 3,560. Let's move to the last step. Ignore the ones, ignore the tens, and just multiply the hundreds with the whole number. So we have 1 times 8 times 1 times 7, then 1 times 1. Okay? And the answer will remain the same. As all of us, we know that the 1 is the identity number of multiplication, that when we do multiply any number by 1 the product is same to the first number. So the product here الجواب حيكون نفس الرقم الأول because of the identity property of multiplication. إنه when we do multiply a number by 1 ما بيتغير الجواب. Okay, so we have maybe 17,800. Now just we have to add them together. حبايبي, let me tell you something. When it comes to multiplication, you have to practice, and practice. Okay? As much as you do exercise, as much as you benefit from the process itself. And for me now, I do care about the 3 main tables of multiplication, which are 6, 7, and 8. لما بنحفظ جداول الضرب, we have to focus on 3, 6, 7, and 8. Okay? Now let's clear the canvas and watch this short video.
Hi, welcome to Math Antics. In our last video, we learned the basics of multi-digit multiplication. We learned how to multiply a multi-digit number by a one-digit number.
طيب حبايبي, this was our last previous class. How to multiply a multi-digit that this number has more than 1 digit. So that's why we call it multi-digit. We have to multiply it times with 1 digit. Okay?
But in this video, we're going to take it to the next level. We're going to learn how to multiply a multi-digit number by another
So here the multiplicand and the multiplier, both of them, they have multi-digit numbers. Okay حبايبي?
Digit number. You remember the procedure for multiplying when we have a one-digit bottom number, right? You break up the problem into a series of multiplication steps, one for each of the top digits. And in each step, you just multiply the bottom digit by a top digit.
يعني this is the bottom digit and this is the top digit. We do multiply the bottom digit with the first top digit, then with the second, then with the third.
Starting with the ones place and working your way left until you've multiplied all of the digits. Well, when the bottom number of your multiplication problem also has more than 1 digit, you have to do that same procedure we learned for each bottom digit. For example, if you have a 2-digit bottom number, you multiply the first digit by each top digit, and then you multiply the second digit by each top digit. That means you're going to have twice as many steps to do, and it means you're going to get 2 different answers. What? How can we have 2 different answers for the same problem?
Right. Here we have one problem, but we have 2 different answers, so we have to add them together to find the final product, حبايبي, okay?
Now don't panic. The different answers are just what you get from doing the multiplication procedure for each digit of the bottom number separately. In fact, it's kind of like we're pretending we have 2 separate multiplication problems that each have a 1-digit bottom number. Which is nice, because I kind of like pretending. No, Luke, I am your father. No, that's impossible! Ha ha! Ah, wait, no! No! Well, I mean, it's nice because we already know how to multiply when we have a 1-digit bottom number. What we have to do is add them together once we're finished doing all of our multiplication steps. Are you ready to see an example? It should make a lot more sense when you see the procedure in action.
Okay.
So let's multiply 324, a 3-digit number, by 46, a 2-digit number.
Kindly pause the video now. Pause the video and do these 2 numbers, multiply them together, check your answers. خلوني أحكي لكم the steps. Try to follow the steps, and then you have to do what? You have to يعني compare your answer with Math Antics answer. Here we have to multiply 6 by 4, then 6 by 2, then 6 by 3, then نكتب هون 0, don't forget the 0, then 4 times 4, 4 times 2, and 4 times 3. Then find your answer. اعملوا pause للفيديو. Find your answer, then watch the video or continue watching the video.
Now remember, We're going to do the same procedure that we did in the last video for each of the bottom digits. And since our top number has 3 digits, that means there'll be 3 multiplication steps for the first digit and 3 steps for the second digit. Fortunately, we can start the same way we would if the bottom number only had 1 digit by just ignoring the second digit until we finish the first 3 steps.
Okay.
All right, so our first multiplication step is 6 times 4, which is 24. And since 24 has 2 digits, we can leave the 4 in our answer line, but we need to carry the
This one, the 2 here should be regrouped with the tens حبايبي. The 2 here should be regrouped with the tens. So ما بنحطها هون, we write it up there. Look.
2 and put it above the next top digit that we're going to multiply. So the next step is 6 times 2, which is 12. But we have to add in the 2 that we carried, so 12 plus 2 gives us 14. That's another 2-digit answer, so we leave the 4 in our answer line and carry the 1 up above the next digit that we're going to multiply. And our third step is 6 times 3, which is 18, and then we add in the 1 that we carried and we get 19. This time we can leave both digits of the 19 in our answer line because there's no more multiplication steps to do. Well, at least there's no more steps for the first digit. Remember, we still have that other bottom digit
Don't forget that we have another digit to do the multiplication process.
that we've been ignoring. Now we have to multiply it by each of the top digits also, which means we have 3 more steps to do. It also means that we'll get a second answer. And because we'll get a second answer, we need to start a second answer line for the next set of steps. We're going to put our new answer line just below the first one. So this answer line comes from our first bottom digit, and this answer line will come from our second bottom digit. At the very end, after we're all done multiplying, we're going to add the 2 answers together. But for now, let's continue with the second set of multiplication steps. Oh, and I almost forgot to tell you, there's something very important that you need to do when you start the second set of steps.
Can you tell me what is the highly important thing to do before you start that second line? We have to add a 0 here. Again, we have to add a 0 here.
Because the second digit of the bottom number is in the tens place, that means that even though the digit's only a 4, its value is really 40. That's 10 times bigger, so the answer we get should also be 10 times bigger.
Okay.
So before we start multiplying, we need to put a 0 in the first spot of our answer line, so it's 10 times bigger. That means that all the other answer digits we put there are shifted to the next bigger number place.
طيب. Now حبايبي, I will just skip a little bit. Now we do the multiplication process, then we find the answer, the final answer here. We have it. We have to add them together. Okay. And this is our final answer. Look, this is the final answer. Don't forget to add a 0 here and then do the multiplication process. I will send you this video also if you wanted to watch it again. And this is our class for today. I'll pause the video and I will send you another part of it. Thank you.